We hear it all the time, right? Hustle, grind, push yourself to the absolute limit if you want to be successful. But what if that whole hustle culture thing has a secret, hidden cost? Today, we're going to dive into a story about ambition and burnout that might just be the wake-up call you didn't know you needed.
Okay, so let's just start with a really basic question. When you think of success, like a really successful professional, what's the first image that pops into your head? Is it maybe someone just working insane hours? Their calendar is just slammed from morning till night? Or how about someone who's always skipping lunch, just running on an endless pot of coffee? Maybe it's that person who thinks sleep is for the weak, that you have to sacrifice it to get ahead. The scary part is, for a lot of us, this is exactly what we've been taught success looks like.
And that image right there, that's exactly where we meet Raj. His story is, well, it's a perfect example of where this whole idea of success can take you. So Raj is this 26-year-old software engineer. He's smart, super ambitious, totally driven. And in his mind, the only way to climb the ladder was through just relentless work. He was literally living on coffee and adrenaline.
And check out this mindset. All that stress that was building up, he didn't see it as a problem. No, he just kind of brushed it off as part of a hustle. That constant pressure wasn't a red flag for him. It was a badge of honor. It was proof he was doing it right.
But here's the thing about that kind of hustle. It always comes with a price tag. And it's not one you can pay with money. It's paid for with your own well-being. You could see this huge gap opening out between what he wanted and what was actually happening. So on one hand, his goals were all about career growth, big projects, meeting deadlines. But his reality? Pounding headaches, being tired all the time, and this constant, overwhelming anxiety that was just always there in the background. And it didn't take long for that reality to start messing with his goals. Suddenly, he couldn't concentrate. His work performance, the one thing he was sacrificing everything for, started to nosedive. And all that stress, it started spilling over into his personal life, really straining his relationships. Finally, it got so bad that a coworker who was pretty worried about him convinced him to go see a doctor. And that one doctor's visit, man, it was about to change everything for him. The doctor gave him a diagnosis, and it all came down to one word: burnout. And the doctor was clear, this isn't just being tired. It's a state of complete physical and emotional exhaustion. It's so deep it can make you feel disconnected from your own achievements, even from who you are as a person. So, the official diagnosis: severe anxiety and work-related burnout. His body wasn't just tired, it was in crisis mode from being ignored for so long. And this was a huge deal. It was something he absolutely could not just push through anymore. And right there, in that moment, the whole illusion just shattered. Raj was completely stunned. His entire belief system was that as long as his career was going up, everything else was okay. He couldn't have been more wrong. So, what happens now? Well, that diagnosis wasn't the end of the story. In fact, it was the starting line for a totally new way of looking at his life and his work. His recovery wasn't some magic bullet. It was about building a new foundation from the ground up, based on 4 key steps. First, he went back to basics, actually getting enough sleep, eating right, and exercising every day. Second, and this is a big one, he started setting boundaries. He learned how powerful it is to say no and to protect his own time. Third, he got serious about managing his stress, using things like mindfulness and meditation to calm his mind. And finally, he reached out for support. He started seeing a therapist to work through the anxiety and build up some real resilience. And you know what? Over time, sticking with this stuff didn't just bring him back to normal. It completely transformed him. It led him to this incredible realization about what wealth really means. Just look at the difference. It's night and day, really. The old Raj was just chasing the hustle, totally stressed out. And the crazy part is, his work was actually suffering because of it. But the new Raj, the one who put his health first, he started to thrive. He was more focused, more creative, and he was building a career that he could actually sustain for the long haul. And this is the lesson that Raj shares with everyone now. Learn the hard way. He says, look, your career is important, of course it is. But if you don't have your health, there's nothing there to support it. You have to invest in yourself first, because your health, that is the greatest wealth you will ever own. So Raj's story really makes you stop and think, doesn't it?
It kind of forces us to look in the mirror and ask ourselves that same question. In our own crazy chase for success, what are we calling our greatest wealth?